Hey guys, Mootini here. Where was last week's video? Well, you guys, there was supposed to be a video last week. For those of you who would like little behind the scenes, I usually film my videos either Mondays or Tuesdays just to kind of give myself more time in the week to finish editing. And literally right as I started filming last week, I got a phone call from my parents giving me the very unfortunate news that my grandpa passed away. And of course, I stopped filming and it was quite a shock, to say the least. 82 years, you guys. He lived an absolutely incredible and very full life. So for those who don't follow me on Instagram, I did make a little bit of an announcement there that this had happened and that there was not going to be a video last week. And maybe the next week, which would essentially be this video that you're watching right now, after some thought, I changed my mind and decided to film one this week. Why am I filming one? Because when life gets really tough, you have to keep rolling with it. And I can't just stop. My grandpa absolutely loved my videos. And I said I wasn't gonna start crying. But like I was saying, my grandpa absolutely adored my videos. After each one, he would always message me saying, "Oh, Mandy, that was great. Your videos keep getting better. Oh, I loved this one." He wouldn't want me to stop for any longer than I already took a break for, so I'm not going to. Now, don't worry, we're not just gonna sit here and I'm not gonna just cry on camera the whole time. From the title of this video, we're absolutely still gonna review a movie this week. And from also reading the title of this video, you might be wondering, why this one? Little backstory as to why I chose to review this movie this week, which absolutely was not on the schedule of videos for me to film for at least quite some time. I was going to start reviewing an entire franchise, you guys, and which I will still absolutely get to that just a little later on down the road now. But why I chose the movie that we're going to be discussing here today, not that long after I got my driver's license, I would go visit my grandpa quite frequently, and we would essentially have a sleepover where we would watch a scary movie, pop a lot of popcorn, and then the next day we would go get lunch together. It was so cool. Like, I would pick a movie, then he would pick a movie. I showed him Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and then he showed me Invasion of the Body Snatchers. But with his passing, I really wanted to switch up my filming schedule, so to say, and dedicate this video to him by reviewing a movie that he showed me at one of our horror movie sleepovers, The Birds from Alfred Hitchcock. It's actually really funny if you think about it, because when we watched this movie, we did do a double feature that day of first Bye Bye Birdie, which I had never seen up until that point, and then a little after it got dark, we watched The Birds. My grandpa literally said, "Let's have a bird theme with the movies we watched today." So even though I'm really struggling with this, and you'll notice I'm in my pajamas, my hair is nicely, freshly washed. I just got home from work and I hopped in the shower. It's held up with a spiderweb clip, and I have very little makeup on. But I really want to turn something negative into something positive, which is what my grandfather would have wanted me to do. And do it I shall. Grandpa, this video's for you. Oh, before I forget, nice little fun thing here. We do have some new spooky nails. We went with a Goosebumps theme this time. My nails were long overdue. Alrighty, let's hop right into it, boys and ghouls. Today, we are going to be reviewing The Birds, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. Released in 1963. Believe it or not, this is Alfred Hitchcock's 48th film. 48, man! The guy's been busting his butt releasing a new movie nearly every year since 1925. That's a lot of movies. Coming out just 3 years after the infamous Psycho, I honestly think this is a pretty great follow-up movie. The plot, I feel, is very well written, and it's also really eerie. We also have a good couple of characters that we follow throughout the movie, all of which are very interesting, and they play off each other really well in each scene. Now, starring in this movie, we have Tippi Hedren and Rod Taylor as our leads. Then we have Suzanne Pleshette. I'm so sorry if I said your last name wrong, hun. Jessica Tandy and Veronica Cartwright. And a little fun fact here for you guys. Veronica Cartwright is eventually gonna grow up to play Lambert in Ridley Scott's Alien. I mean, come on. How cool is that? Something that I really like about this movie is that each character we're introduced to and that we follow, they each have quite a bit of depth to them. Like, no one is just one note, except like background people that we see 1 second and then we never see again. And it's really neat to see all of our characters come to work together, especially when this movie becomes a scary movie. And I say this because the good first portion of this movie, it's not a scary movie. It actually starts as a romance, kind of. Alrighty, you guys, in case I didn't say it before, this is going to be a 100% spoiler movie review. So if you don't want to be spoiled for this movie, I'm sorry, because we're going to go over all the juicy details. With that being said, let's hop right into it.
Melanie Daniels, who is quite the spoiled socialite, travels to Bodega Bay, California, in pursuit of the handsome Mitch Brenner. Shortly after her arrival, the town becomes at the mercy of the birds, who become extremely violent and surprisingly coordinated towards the people of Bodega Bay.
Now, if you're watching this for the very first time, you might find yourself wondering to yourself, what is making the birds do what they do in this movie? The reasoning? Because that's why. That's right, folks. These birds are attacking everybody just for the pure heck of it. There is no reason. It is full-on man versus nature in this, and honestly, this really helps the movie keep that very eerie feeling. Something else that Alfred Hitchcock did with this film that really just adds so much to it when you don't even really realize it. There's no musical soundtrack to this movie. The only thing he added were the sounds that the birds make. Now, our main character, Melanie, is a very spunky and likable gal. And she's also got a little attitude, which I really like. At the beginning of the movie, she plays a prank on the character Mitch, our male lead, where they're in a pet store and she pretends that she's one of the workers there, showing him the different types of birds when she's making it all up.
Redbirds. Oh, I thought they were strawberry finches.
Oh, yes, we call them that, too.
And then he eventually calls her out on her bullshit.
Back in your gilded cage, Melanie Daniels. Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
What did you say?
He also reveals to her that he's a lawyer and he's been keeping track of her with all of these impractical jokes that she's been responsible for lately. Now, despite all this happening at the beginning of the movie, it sparks some feelings for him. From her. She gets a crush on him, even though he says to her, "I'm gonna see you in court." From these feelings, she then makes the decision to actively find out where this man lives, and then drives to go see him with a present. What does she give him? Birds. Lovebirds. And with her very similar drive to the one they have at the beginning of I Know What You Did Last Summer, we are now in Bodega Bay, California. Shortly after they've been reunited and are starting to share some feelings for both of each other now, we're introduced to Mitch's mother, his little sister, and his past love interest, Annie, who actually ended up being scared away from him from his mother. Look at that death stare. Damn! This is also where we get the first bird incident. Yeah, that looks like it hurt. And honestly, really quickly going back to the Annie character, she is my favorite character in this entire movie. This actress, she does such a great job with her performance. You can literally see behind Annie's eyes through her acting, there's so much pain in there as she's just watching her man fall in love with another woman. But something really cool that they did do with the Annie character, she doesn't become mean despite this happening in front of her. In fact, she even lets Melanie stay with her. Just fantastic character moments from everybody here. And then we have the actual birds of this movie. Holy shit. They really fucked this town up, man. I'm not even kidding. I mean, just look what they do. They're going into people's houses, they're attacking children, they're raising suspicions of the townfolk against poor Melanie.
I think you're the cause of all this.
And killing off my favorite character. Yeah, that part is really sad. And on top of all of these attacks, we have fire and we've got explosions. Fuck, man! Seeing these very well-trained birds just rain absolute terror on this town, it's very interesting to watch. And entertaining. An absolute favorite moment of mine in this movie, it's when all hell breaks loose. Melanie and Mitch take refuge in a diner after an entire scene of these birds just raining terror. A woman approaches Melanie and starts accusing her of being evil and starts blaming her for what's been going on.
I think you're evil! Evil!
We love Melanie! Now, the ending is probably the most intense part of this entire movie, as we see our characters really hunker down in the house, trying to defend themselves against the birds' attacks, which are just constant at this point. And then we get a pretty harrowing moment that happens. It's when the birds decide to give them a little break, and Melanie decides to go upstairs to investigate a strange noise. Which is something you do not do in a horror movie, you guys. Come on, we know the rules already.
Certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie.
Now, once she's upstairs, she discovers that the birds have broken a hole through the roof in the house, and they've been there this entire time. Fuck. Now, after quite an individual attack from the birds, she is rescued, but Melanie becomes very traumatized through this whole final bit of the movie.
No. No!
Honestly, it's really sad to see, especially with the character that they've established she is at the beginning of the movie. The movie then ends as the family decides they need to try and make a run for it as they get in the car and drive off into a now very dreary looking Bodega Bay surrounded by birds. What an ending. Now, another little fun fact here for you guys. There is a deleted ending where we see one more battle with the birds as they try and drive out of Bodega Bay, eventually making it to safety. Oh yeah, they all do get away in the end. To that ending, of course. Honestly though, I really like the ending that we got, and I actually prefer it to that deleted one. Honestly, I feel like if they did that, it would have been just too much. Another big bird attack, because there's a lot of them in this movie. I feel like it would have just been too much if they went with that one. But this ending, it really makes the audience think, what's gonna happen to these guys? Now, The Birds is an absolute classic horror movie. I give this movie a solid 9 out of 10. Have you guys watched The Birds? If you have, let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. I'm really curious for your guys' input on this movie. I feel like The Birds, it's not really talked about that much. And it's such an iconic Alfred Hitchcock movie. Alrighty, you guys, we're gonna start wrapping it up for this episode of Mootini. Thank you all so much for being here and sticking around, even during this really difficult time for me and my family. Just the amount of messages I got and pictures of my grandfather and stories of him that were shared with me, it really, really touches me to know that he impacted so many people and that he was so loved. Again, 82 years old, you guys. What a man. As usual, you guys, the links to all my social medias are going to be here and also down below. And I'll see you all next week. And I promise, not in my pajamas next week. Well, actually, no. There's not going to be a video next week. I lied. Now this, I actually was planning on not doing a video next week. Why? It's James and I's wedding anniversary next week. So both of us are taking a week off to really spend some time together. How has it already been 2 years, you guys, that I've been married to this man? Alrighty, you guys. See you next time. Mootini out.
You like her? Yeah, big nose. She got a big nose? Looky. Before she looked that way. There she goes. There she goes, Mickey nose.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if you guys can hear that. There have been planes just flying through the sky very, very loudly for like the entire time I've been filming so far. Like, what are they doing? These flippin' planes, man!
I know, man.
It's so loud!
I know, man. So I took this opportunity. She's probably stopped recording because those planes are so loud. I'm gonna take the opportunity to go get the shit.
What you getting? What's that? The Tide Pods.
The Tide Pods and the cat lives out there.
Tide Pods. Love you.
Hey.